guys, it's Lauren Daisy. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing another PLL original sin video. I posted my other one just a few days ago, 2 days ago, and the views on it have been really good, so thank you for that. And I got a comment on there from drmz.mp3 saying I would love if you did another analysis video, maybe on the new character trailers, which thank you for that, because I didn't even know there were character trailers out. So that's exciting. The only thing is my video from a few days ago did get a copyright claim on it because of the clip in the video, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to edit it. I'll either just not have the clip at all or only do like real short segments and then just talk about it more afterwards, but that's what we're gonna do today. Bailey Madison, the queen herself, commented on my video yesterday, which I literally almost fell over. The first one to be released was Noah. Oh, okay, she's got a boyfriend. Oh, she's very direct, kind of a Spencer type. Just come out of juvie. Track star. Big loyalty, I love that. Maybe more of an Emily type then. I think I said that in my video before. Oh wait, what did that text say? What did that text say? She said that the character has a lot of layers to her, so I think that's really exciting. It showed her, I think, with her mum. So I think there's kind of going to be maybe two different sides, kind of like the reason why she went to juvie. I think they've done this very well, because I already feel invested in these characters, even though I haven't actually like really seen them yet, but I'm intrigued by like, why did she go to juvie? Obviously, you know, she has this boyfriend. Did he stay? I'm assuming he is from before juvie, or maybe even during, or like afterwards. And she is an athlete, she's a runner, so that's interesting as well. I wonder if that's like a kind of hobby she's always had, or kind of something that she's using as a kind of outlet for that energy, and maybe that kind of rebellious side, maybe just like putting that kind of like built up energy, or maybe anger or whatever she's feeling into like sport, rather than whatever it was that got her into juvie, or maybe she was like wrongly accused or framed or something. So I'm really interested to see how that whole story plays out. And then we also get to see that she's like very loyal to the friend group, and you know, there was a scene of her like laying on her, I think it's her mum's lap, so she had that like sweet, maybe more like not childlike, but kind of that, you know, puts on a brave face kind of thing, and then but still whatever she was dealing with as a kid, or you know what she's dealing with now, still kind of like melts away a little bit when she's with her family. The text says, to thine own self be true, 1 bully down, 5 more to go, keep quiet about me or you're next, A. So loving the A texts. It gets me so hyped because I just, you know, I love Pretty Little Lies so much. So the A text is like one of my favorite things. So I'm assuming it's kind of, you know, like an Allison thing, where, you know, there was like a leader of the group who is now dead, 5 more to go, and then that's obviously the rest of the 5 girls. So maybe it'll be, I don't know, maybe the girls are connected in some way, you know, maybe kind of like the Jenna thing. Like, you obviously, if you've seen PLL, you know the Jenna thing where Ali like blinded Jenna, but Toby took the fall and went to juvie. Maybe in this version of PLL, Noah has taken the fall, like for all the girls maybe, and she's the one that's gone to juvie, which I feel like would be really interesting, because obviously, you know, Toby went to juvie and all the girls just basically got away with blinding Jenna, like nobody ever came after them for it except for Jenna herself. So I feel like that would have been kind of interesting if in the original PLL, like one of the other girls had kind of sacrificed themselves for the sake of the group. Maybe that's kind of like where you see Noah's loyalty. Maya is absolutely gorgeous. I'm obsessed with her hair, it's so beautiful. And she seems really, really sweet. It looks like all the actresses on the show, like in the core group, like had a really nice friendship, which is something I always loved about the PLL cast, like when you would see behind the scenes and stuff and all their like selfies and their pictures and them hanging out. I thought that was so nice. I love that there seems to be a real focus on that friendship and loyalty aspect again, because that was something I always loved about the original PLL, and I feel like it's really prominent pre-time jump. I'm gonna do a whole video on the OG. I have so many videos on like OG PLL like planned, but this and the time jump is going to be one of those topics because it's a whole thing. But anyway, I felt like that was a real prominent thing before the time jump. It was all about friendship and all about the girls and their group and their bond, whereas I feel like post time jump we kind of lost that a little bit. So I like that that is a real big theme in this new one, because, you know, girl power and female friendships are so strong and so just, and like, you know what I mean, like you just feel it, like when you have a true friend in someone and you just know and that bond is there, that is so powerful. And I think sometimes can be even more so than any kind of relationship. You know, in the original PLL, these girls were like, would sacrifice their lives for each other, like full on. So I think it's gonna be cool to see that kind of make a bit more of a comeback, and also in this new kind of setting where obviously the stakes are, well, they seem to be almost maybe even a bit higher than the OG ones, at least in the beginning. It seems to have gone, we got to murder, we definitely got to murder and some crazy shit towards the end, but I think in the early seasons they kind of ease you in with what the lies are being threatened with, whereas like this time around it seems like it is going to that kind of crazy intense place right from the beginning. The next one is gonna be Mouse. Yeah, in the other video her name was Mouse on Wikipedia and it is here, but I think it's actually a nickname and her actual name is Minnie, which is so cute. What a cute little nickname, Minnie Mouse. I really like her style. Disney obsessed, okay. Be a little girl forever. Oh, cute, okay. Ooh, the cosplaying. They're swearing? Okay. So she might be more of a new member to the group. Oh my god, she seems so sweet. They all seem so lovely and they're so gorgeous. Okay, so Mouse, I love her already. I feel like I love all of them already. Like I'm literally excited to see like each of them. But yeah, so Mouse seems quiet, reserved. It said something about her mum kind of stopping her from having those strong friendships, which I think is interesting. Maybe that's in a protective sense. Them being Disney obsessed, like I think that's so freaking cute. That's not really something that like we really see a lot of. I feel like that idea of avatars and the online kind of world and things like that is a real interesting thing to bring into something like this. I think usually in times when there's been like horror ones, it's always just like, oh, the killer's like texting them or, you know, like whatever. And similarly in Gossip Girl, I wasn't sure how I felt about Gossip Girl now being an Instagram. It made sense, obviously, with the natural like progression of social media, but sometimes I feel like it can be used in just a bit of a cringy way, social media, just a little bit. But I love this because it's really part of her character. It's not in that kind of Instagram obsessed way, it's more in like a escapism way, which I think is very prevalent today. I mean, even just watching TV and talking about TV is escapism in itself. So it's kind of a weird like Inception thing. Like we're all obviously going to watch Pretty Little Liars as a form of escapism, and then Mouse in turn has her own version of escapism in the like gaming and technology. The fact that she's very analytical and, you know, very tech forward, I think is really interesting, because obviously before in Pretty Little Liars, I said this in my video yesterday, that she might be the new like Caleb kind of character, and I like that it's now a main person, because I felt like they would kind of always go to Caleb as a kind of plot hole fixer for anything technology. He was always like, oh, Caleb will track their car, or he'll be able to hack into this security camera or whatever, with no real explanation. They just kind of brushed it off to him and he just kind of like fixed it. So I think seeing that in this, with her being a main character and being able to really use it to help the girls from the start, I think will be really interesting. And the fact that she's shy, I think is really sweet, you know, but she's very, I think she said she's very like loud and proud about who she is, and I really like her style as well. So yeah, intrigued about Mouse as well. That seems really, just really cool. I'm excited to see more about her relationship with her kind of online persona. I feel like that's gonna be really interesting. Yeah, I don't know, like the idea of kind of, not fandoms, but like being fans of things, I think is a cute thing to introduce as well, like the fact they all love Disney. Yeah, I don't know, I just really like when you can see yourself in characters, and also they come across more as normal people. Like, as much as I loved all the original PLL girls, could you really say anything about them other than the pure archetypes that they were really supposed to be? Like, Emily was sporty and she liked swimming. You could maybe say a little bit more about her because she had her whole music thing with Toby in the first season, where they would kind of talk about the music they liked. Hannah obviously likes fashion. Aria is very artsy, she's very quirky, she likes photography. You know, very like, obviously Spencer's, you know, intelligent. And I feel like they're very core things about them. Whereas this is kind of fun because maybe her core thing is that she's into technology, but you're also seeing that her family really likes Disney, and you're seeing that she likes to kind of like dress up and do cosplay, or maybe she makes these masks herself, you know. And I think all those kind of things make you really connect to characters and be able to see yourself in them, which I think people do a lot with the original PLL girls. They have one that they kind of identify with. So I think that's really a fun way to get people interested in these characters and connect with them and just kind of see what they're like. It makes you feel like you know them a little bit better because you know something maybe a little bit more personal than just what is presented to you from the outside. You know, like, and I think that's really important, especially in horror ones where you are supposed to care about people and be scared for them and worried for them, and want them to live and survive and get through what they're going through. I'm rewatching Scream at the moment, the TV show, so there's gonna be a video coming on that. But if I was to say anything about like Emma, who's the main girl, there's pretty much nothing you can say about her in terms of what she likes or her real personality, because it's very much centered around the horror story and the basic plot of the show. There's not a lot of real like true nuances to her or anything where I could say, oh yeah, Emma seems to like this, or she, you know, really likes this, or you know, anything like that, which I think I still really like Emma. I don't not like her because of those things, but I think knowing more about people helps you invest in them more. Like Noah, for example, who's one of the other characters, he's very into gaming and, you know, into his horror films and things like that, and he even mentioned Pretty Little Liars. You know, when you see those references, you think, oh, he's seen Pretty Little Liars, and you think, oh, he's seen this, and, you know, he listens to podcasts and things like that. So he's a lot more of a kind of detailed character in that sense, and I think being able to sit back and look at someone like that and be like, I like those things too, makes you sympathize with them even if you don't realize that it is. So I just like those little nuggets and those little things that make these characters seem very detailed already, just from these 1 minute character trailers that we're getting. Third, we have Tabby. And this is Chandler, I'm pretty sure, which is just the coolest name. I love that they all love Pretty Little Liars as well and grew up watching it. Ooh, okay. She's almost kind of a Noah type. And she wants to be a film director, that's really cool. And drawing. And she does the movie references like Noah. I love that. Cute. Okay, so Tabby seems really cool. I think you can kind of find those elements in the shows that you watch, you know, things that you learn from characters. But I loved what she said about Tabby being a character that shows that it's good to speak your mind and take up space and stand up for the things that you believe in. I absolutely love that. And I think it might sound silly because it's like, oh, it's a horror show and it's a Pretty Little Liars show, like no one's watching it for a life lesson, which is fair. But if you get one along the way, that's almost a bit nicer. And I think being able to see those things and just take them in, especially for younger, maybe more impressionable audiences, being able to just see these things naturally and not be outright told like, okay, this is, you're supposed to learn from this, this is what, like, you know, this is like a kind of big lesson. It's more of just she's just a character in a TV show that I really like and inspires me. You know, kind of like with Emily, a lot of people were inspired by her coming out. That was definitely a big thing for me when I first watched Pretty Little Liars. It was the first time I'd kind of really seen that, other than in Friends with Carol and Susan, you know. So, and then you have like Eric from Gossip Girl, and you know, I think it's important to tell these stories, and I think to have these characters that will inspire people, even if that is not what they are looking to them to do. When you just naturally see female leads, and specifically as well, you know, female POC leads as well, you know, just standing up for themselves, doing what they believe in, with no real center around that being their whole character, but just naturally part of them. And just being able to look on screen and see a powerful woman and see, and you know, for teenagers, to see a powerful teenager who is standing up for themselves, who is fighting for things they believe in and fighting back against things and stereotypes and, you know, all that kind of stuff, just naturally, just in the show, because that's obviously not the focus of the show, but just seeing it like sprinkled in there as well, I think is really important and is really special, and I just love it. I just love to see it, and I hope that other, you know, anyone, boys, girls, anyone that's going to watch this show will also be inspired by that in a little way. Obviously the whole point of it is escapism and is this horror element, but I just love that so far, and it seems, I'm sure this isn't going to change as I watch the next two, but they all seem to be strong female leads, it's good representation, and I'm just really excited for this show. And I feel like we're at a point now where when you do go back and watch Gossip Girl and Pretty Little Liars, you do find things where you're like, I wish there'd been more representation, or I wish this topic had been handled better, or I wish they talked about this, or oh, this is probably, looking back, not really what should have been said here, those kind of things. I think it's good that now shows are taking those things in and they're taking them seriously, and things are just being handled better and characters are being written better. And yeah, I feel like I've rambled on for too long about that, but you get what I'm saying. So the fourth one is Faran. Oh my gosh, she read the books. Yep, friendship, see? Oh shit, she's rude. Oh my god, again, she seems so sweet. So, she's saying that her character is a lot more closed off than the other liars, not as open to being more vulnerable with them, but then kind of sees that they are truly there for her, which I think will be a nice journey to follow, because it can be hard, you know, with new friends, or when you've been kind of scorned by friends or just people in general in the past, to open up to new people, which again I think is a really nice story to tell for people watching, to see someone who maybe is more like them, more closed off, can feel a bit like cold to others, but then opening up and realizing that you can confide in people. I think that's, again, a really nice story to tell. Faran seems very sweet. I think I mentioned this in my other video, but I like that it's a ballerina. I feel like that's something a bit different. I took one ballet class when I was 4, I think 3, and I couldn't hack it. So I very much admire them. It's not something that I really know anything about, so I'm interested to see that story told, and that industry. And the harsh, you know, dance teacher with nothing ever being right, and the fact that she has chronic pain, that is something I've never seen in a TV show that I can remember, or like, especially in a teen show. So I think that is, again, amazing representation. That's not something that I personally have experienced. So you know, anything that's going to teach me more about someone else's experience, I love that. And I assume maybe that's something that she doesn't tell people, or she maybe doesn't tell the liars straight at the beginning, but then opens up and tells them about. So yeah, I think, again, super sweet, absolutely gorgeous. All these girls are gorgeous, and I'm obsessed. The styling for all of them, their hair, their makeup, I just absolutely love it. And again, I love that everyone is a Pretty Little Liars fan. Like Zaria was saying, she's read the books, you know, everyone's saying I grew up watching it. And I think that is really nice as well, when you love a show so much and you see it being redone, you want it to be redone well, and you want the story and the characters that you love to be honoured in the right way. And I think seeing that all these girls love Pretty Little Liars so much gives you a lot of faith that they will do the characters justice and will bring that love of the show to the show. And I think you can already see that in their acting and the way they're promoting this show, and they're so excited about it. I absolutely love that. Okay, so I've left Bailey till last, and this is Imogen's character trailer. Seeing her in this literally makes me want to watch Just Go With It. My friend Miranda was telling me that she just watched it the other day, and then I obviously mentioned Bailey in my video, and she was like, oh my god, like I didn't know she was in the new show. And now I want to go back and watch that again. So here we go. This is Imogen's one. She's so pretty. I love her blonde hair as well. Oh, she's 15 and pregnant. Oh, she's a strong gal. She knows who she is. I love that. She wants to be Spirit Queen. I love it. Okay, so yeah, the kind of things that I was saying about Imogen yesterday still stand. She seems like a very strong character, not gonna let what other people say about her or think about her bother her in any kind of way. I think that, yeah, the whole element of being pregnant, I think is adding a really interesting layer and different angle to the show. So yeah, that's exciting. Again, I'm already hooked into these characters. I want to know how Faran got into ballet, and I want to know how Imogen, you know, fell pregnant and that whole story, and I want to know, you know, what's happening with her and her mum, because it doesn't seem like there's a dad there, both for her child and her own. You know, I want to know about Mouse, and you know, what kind of games does she play, or what avatars does she have, or what is, you know, that whole thing about why does she feel more in touch with the technological world than the real world. And Tabby and her film career, you know, and I love her that she's into horror films and she knows all the little cliches and all that kind of stuff, because I love horror films and I do that exact same thing. I really love film. I studied, you know, media for a few years, and I love all that stuff, and I do that exact same thing. Any time that I see something, I'm like, oh, this is such Gossip Girl vibes, or I'm like, oh, this reminds me of this scene in Friends, and this reminds me of this scene from Charlie's Angels, or like anything like that. So those kind of references I absolutely love. I will eat that shit up. And then same with Noah. Like I said, I'm already interested in her backstory. So yeah, I feel like I'm super excited for this show. All the characters seem great, the actresses seem absolutely lovely, and I'm so excited to see them in these shows. And yeah, just kind of see what it's all about. I think the first episode comes out on the 28th of July. So yeah, I'll be filming videos for those first 3 episodes that come out with my initial like thoughts and everything. But I'm struggling to see how this show could disappoint me, because I feel like it's bringing bringing a good lot of elements. It's bringing the story, the intrigue, the, you know, kind of horror element, the tension, the friendship and loyalty. I think it was Chandler said that there's quite a bit of betrayal in the show, so that's going to be interesting, the drama. There seems to be quite a bit of humor as well, which I always loved about Pretty Little Liars. Even though there was not really any kind of comedy element to it at all, they would always drop the little one-liners, and when they were just like bickering together or chatting together, you would kind of get those, and I loved those as well. So I'm happy to see they kind of still kept that in. I'm excited to see any kind of Easter eggs from the old show. I feel like it just looks really good. I'm really excited about it. Let me know who you think your favorite character is going to be in the comments. See you guys in the next video. Bye.